We also have Mr. Naresh Arora joining us, Congress campaign strategist, and congratulations. Quite the victory. It's a sweep. 139 are the leads that NDTV is currently showing. We just heard from Mr. Shankar Shetty talking about more about what did not work for the BJP, with the fact that they did not have a leader like Yediyurappa. But tell us about what worked for the Congress here, and we have many analysts in studio talking about how this time the Congress really hit the ground running. Your leadership, DK Shivkumar, as well as Siddharamaiah, this 40% campaign that you ran, also the campaign, the pro-poor promises that were made, and that is something that you really managed to, put out there to the public, and that seems to have translated into this support.
First of all, thank you, Gargi, for your wishes. Yes, it is a very sweet moment today after 2 years of hard work, and I have seen some of the television since morning because I was not able to, but I have seen one thing missing from the analytic part, and that is about the sustained campaign of 2 years. It is not a campaign of 6 months or 3 months. It is a campaign of 2 years, 2.5 years since Mr. Shivkumar became the president. And it has the biggest difference between this campaign or any other Congress campaign has been the time taken to swell. And it has been a sustained campaign. It has not relented even for a day. And that is what people like. People always praise and reward hard work. And that is what I think that today's results indicate.
And is this a template that we're going to see the Congress perhaps using going forward, considering how successful it has been here in Karnataka? You also have the Rajasthan elections. I think you're involved with that. Is this something that the Congress will now realize that this is how they have to fight these elections?
First of all, Gargi, you cannot buy time with money. You have seen in the past Congress people, Congress leaders keep complaining about the endless resources which BJP pumps in. But resources alone cannot or win or determine an election. They cannot buy time. And even if Congress would be able to match them with resources, they will not be able to get the time and the hard work which BJP puts on the ground. Regarding a template, I'll just take you back 5 years when Chhattisgarh election was won. It was based on a very different kind of a campaign, which the Congress top leadership was also in acknowledgement of, but then it was not replicated. Every state has a different dynamic, first of all. And then the people who decide, people who run these or take these decisions need to remember that you have to ensure that you have time in hand and you don't do flash in a pan kind of activities. You need to do things relentlessly and consistently.
All right, and everybody in Delhi and everybody on the news channels have analyzed what the whole Bajrang Dal controversy, what it meant for the Congress, what it meant for the BJP. In your mind, how did that work or not work on the ground?
Honestly, in our trackers, in our surveys, it was never a factor on the ground. The election, the polarization template, which generally is associated with BJP, was never working on the ground. I have seen it in the last 2 years. It never worked. Whether it was at the height and peak of halal and hijab kind of controversies, our trackers never showed any kind of a vote-changing resonance with the people. Yes, these are media conversations. These are conversations for social media. But if you ask me that if the voting pattern was being affected, I never saw that. At least in my surveys, it was never on the, never seen. So similar was the case.
All right, well, let's move away from that. But what has been quite significant, and all our analysts are looking at these numbers and vote share and talking about how the Congress has managed this time to capture a significant amount of the Lingayat vote.
Yes, see, of course, when Mr. Yediyurappa was removed from the chief ministership and Mr. Bomai was sworn in, there was a big heartbreak amongst the Lingayat vote bank, which was reflected in our understanding, in our assessments on the ground also. And I think somewhere that has come to hit BJP back. Secondly, I also see, it might be seen as something which I might be in a biased manner, but Mr. Shivkumar has been working very consistently with the Lingayat Mutt Swamijis, the ones who actually influence, who have a very big role in these elections because they determine they are running some social organizations and they are a big influence players in the field of it. And Mr. Shivkumar had built quite good relationship with them, and Lingayat vote was, according to our assessment, it was always coming to Congress and it was going away from BJP.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Naresh Arora, for joining us here on NDTV.